A 10 on your side investigation that's resulted in hundreds of tips and still no arrest. All of White County investigators need everyone's help to find a child abductor who's been on the run since last month.
And tonight we are taking you inside the investigation in hopes that something you see will lead to a break in this case. 10 on your side's Erin Kelly is live at the Sheriff's Office call center where investigators are just waiting for your call. Erin?
They're right behind me here. The phone is ringing. We know we've already had some calls tonight. Now, one thing that has stumped investigators about this case, they're trying to find the first attack scene where that victim says the man sexually assaulted her. If you live in the area, you may recognize the house, but if you have never seen the place, it's harder for you to understand it just based off of the details that we have from the victim. So we brought in our sketch artist who we use for court cases, and she's helped us out tonight to try to fill in the picture. Take a look and see if any of this looks familiar. Investigators say a man forced an 11-year-old girl into his car at her bus stop off Route 17 in Carrollton, then pushed her into the floorboards and covered her with a green blanket. She had no idea where he was taking her and couldn't see anything until they got there.
We believe somewhere in southern part of Suffolk, perhaps North Carolina, but it could even be Chesapeake. We don't know. She was driven to a remote location where the attack took place, where this abandoned house that we've been looking for, unsuccessfully looked for.
Every detail could jog a memory, so 10 on your side brought in a sketch artist to make a description of the first attack scene more real. The victim described it as a brown, dilapidated, abandoned two-story wood-framed house. It doesn't have shingles on the roof, and one wall is caved in. You can see a sofa through that wall. The victim described discarded HVAC units behind the home, a wood line to the left, the other side grassy. She also remembers a nearby two-story home she saw across the paved road from the attack site. It's white with red shutters and a gray roof, with an SUV in the driveway. There's a newer wooden fence around the backyard.
At the end, when we identify who this person is, much credit will have to be given to her and the level of detail that she was able and fortitude that she was able to muster.
If you recognize that house, if you recognize the house across the street, if you recognize this man, we need you to call the number here, 757-365-6290. You can also call 1-800-CALL-FBI, and we have an email address that is tips@iwus.net. Now, coming up at 6, I have a full report on this case, everything you need to know. We've taken you inside the investigation and also several interviews with the investigators on this case. Live in Isle of Wight County, Erin Kelly, 10 on your side.